Jason Mraz in the studio. His new album's out today. How long was this album in the works?
Good question.
Okay.
Because some of these songs I have been working on since 2011. Believe it or not. There's a song called You Might Like It.
Okay.
And the first time we ever tried to write it was 2011, and loved it then, but it just wasn't fully realized.
Mm-hmm.
Brought it back in 2016, wasn't fully realized. Tried it on tour in 2019, wasn't fully realized. And then it wasn't until we were making a new batch of songs and finding this new feel, and that I went back and found that song and thought, I think I know how to realize this song now. So there are some moments on the song that have been in my brain for a long time.
For a while. Is this classified as a pop album?
I think so, yes.
Right.
It is
now,
a
what's
pop
the story
album.
behind that? Because I heard Jill was telling me there's a bit of a story that somebody told you have to write a pop album.
My mom told me I needed to make a pop album.
Okay.
So side A is very much pop album, dance driven. Side B is a little more emotional, acoustic, what you'd expect from a Jason Mraz album. But most of what I was creating was acoustic and very wispy and very beautiful vocals. And my mom said, this is nice, but you got to turn it up a bit. You got to make a pop album. Yeah, you got to do something. And then she said the magic words, before it's too late, late.
You felt like you're getting too old for a pop album?
That's apparently my mom was thinking.
No.
And I have to go with, she's speaking from experience. She's a lot older than I am. She must know a thing or two.
Right.
But I think she was right. If I'm ever going to fulfill on some of these ideas I've had for pop music,
right,
why not do them now while I can still touch my toes,
Are you worried about going out on stage then and being able to dance around to the songs or something like that?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm worried about. I wasn't worried about it. I just took my mom's advice and went down that path and started having a lot of fun.
Good for you, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Are you going to be roller skating on the tour?
Thank you for asking. I am roller skating in our brand new video, which dropped today, Friday, June 23rd. I will skate on tour. Venue to venue, depends on the venue, because if there's cracks or cabling, I don't want to put myself at risk.
Oh, so this is real. You really...
He did it in the video. I haven't seen the video, but are you a good skater? I mean, is that
think
something
I'm
you
a pretty good skater,
Okay,
yeah. I did skate with the San Diego Symphony last year. I did a great show down in San Diego with the Symphony. They didn't know it was coming, but there was this part in the song that was quite long that I wasn't singing. And so I just decided I would sit down, put my skates on, and cruise around the stage like Gene Kelly, and it was amazing.
Wow.
So I will be doing it again. Thank you for asking.
You play the ukulele as you do it?
Sure, why not?
Why not? Just do that.
Yeah, saxophone, bass.
Do you play sax?
No.
Oh.
But I'll try.
I played alto sax.
Oh, I played sax in 5th grade when they let you have an instrument, but I couldn't sing. It's like, I can't sing with this thing in my mouth.
So yeah, that's a problem, right?
So I switched to chorus.
Do you think Kenny G can sing?
Good question. I'm going to say, I don't know. Yeah, you're right.
We'll never know.
Let's not find out.
It might ruin it.
Could you imagine, if Kenny G, all this time, he's a famous saxophone player, if Kenny G is sitting there playing his, soprano sax and just puts it down for a second, love! He's like, what the?
Right? What if he sounds like Adele? What if he's just amazing?
Oh, my God. I would love to see that.
Yeah.
What else is happening? We're going to talk more about the album, but what else is going on with your life?
I don't know. What you want to know?
We just haven't seen you in so long.
Oh, yeah. I have a brilliant cat. He's 12.
Oh.
Love of my life.
Yeah. Cats are cool.
Yeah, the cats are cool.
Can I make a request for the tour?
Yes, you may.
Can you sing If It Kills Me? Can you add that to the set list?
On the tour?
Please.
Absolutely.
Okay.
What night will you be there? In Irvine? Mm-hmm. Irvine. 5 Points Arena. If It Kills Me, I'm going to play it as the opening. I'm going to play it 3 times in the middle of the show, and then I'm going to play it as the encore.
It's my favorite song.
Dear God, so then you got to tell the crowd why you're doing it.
Yeah.
And Jill sitting there, well, I'm the lady that started this.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Thank you.
The song I Won't Give Up, I remember the first time my wife came in contact with that song, sent it to me in a message and said, I want you to listen to this. This is about us.
Oh.
And I said, are we having problems? I was unaware. It's I won't give up on you, clouds, all that stuff. I'm like, what's going on? But it's such a beautiful song.
Yeah.
A lot of your songs are actually like that.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are. They cheer me up.
Right.
I've always turned to music ever since I was a 13-year-old kid. I'd write songs. And something about interfacing with music or an instrument or closing your eyes and singing and freestyling a song into existence, you feel sort of communion with the divine, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
The universe is channeling through you to give you these ideas and melodies.
Sure.
And if you pair it with your own life experience and emotion, or you're facing some trauma from your past, or if you've just read a great book and there's all kinds of wisdom in your brain and you want to funnel it through, writing a song or a poem or something can kind of help you realize those new thoughts onto the paper. So this has been something I've been doing all my life. I'm kind of addicted to it, which is why I make albums, because I end up with a big pile of songs at the end of the year. And I think, I want to put my best together and put this on an album. And if I have a transformation in the process while I'm writing it, then I take it to the stage, because then maybe someone in the audience will also resonate with this
and
idea.
have that transformation.
And if it works on stage, then I'll put it on an album.
Okay.
So it's a long process.
Well, when you start like at 13, I'm trying to imagine as a 13-year-old the angst and stuff that you were going through.
Yeah.
What was the subject matter at 13 that you would find yourself writing about?
Well, I was definitely hormonal and looking for love in all the wrong places. But, I was also a child of a divorced parents. So from the time I was 4, I had a suitcase. I was going back and forth between my parents every weekend. So I was kind of like lost in the middle. Parents were both working full time. So it's a little bit of just like, I want to be seen and heard.
Can you speak to that a bit? Because I know there's going to be kids listening to the show that might find themselves in a similar situation to that. And not to make it too heavy, but that's a point where somebody's gone through experiences that, not in a song right now, but through their words might help somebody else.
Yeah. So speaking to the experience of being a divorced latchkey kid?
Latchkey kid is what the term we used to use,
Yeah, which means you have a key to your house and you show up at home and your parents aren't home yet and you spend a lot of time alone. And I wasn't as affected by it, let's say, as my sister. She was a little older than I was. So I feel like I was just born into that because I was so young.
So it seemed somewhat normal for you?
It seemed somewhat normal, even though as soon as I got into my teens and early 20s, I felt fine being alone and being a bit of a drifter because I always had a suitcase. That's kind of how my parents trained me.
Okay.
Here's your suitcase. And
and off you go to dad's house,
you go.
my house, whatever, back and forth.
And so when I turned 18 and I could go to college, it was not a problem for me. I was like, pack my suitcase.
You didn't feel
go.
homesick at that point because you kind of been
That's right.
place to place to place, so to speak.
That's right.
That's interesting.
And living between two households and watching the dynamics of two different relationships between my mom and stepdad and my dad and stepmom.
Yeah.
I became a keen observer to relationship and what I wanted to do different with my life, and how I wanted to live, So I found it to be quite educational, and
so you found yourself
positive.
looking to not make something that maybe you identified as a mistake in the relationship that you were privy to in your own relationships,
possibly.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, I think we spend our whole lives trying to avoid pain and discomfort, so we do things to comfort us. And so in many ways, I probably avoided a lot of relationships because of what I watched my parents go through.
You didn't want to go through what you saw, right?
Yeah.
That's tough.
Yeah, it was tough.
Do you think that made you want love even more? Because you wanted a good example to find that in your life?
For sure. I vividly remember the day my mom left my dad. And my dad was sitting on the bed crying, and I couldn't understand why my dad was crying. And he said the words, "Your mom left." And I didn't really understand what that meant, but I could tell it was severe because he was crying. And I think I spent the rest of my life trying to, looking for love, trying to heal something either for my dad or find my mom in a way, even though she was always in my life.
Yeah.
There was, I went to therapy for this, but I think all my love songs, because I have a lot of them, are a result of really that, of like trying to heal a love that was never quite fully realized when I was a kid.
Isn't it fascinating how the trials and tribulations we go through, especially when you're an artist, they affect your art so much? Like, where would your songs and who you are and your life be if, let's say, that relationship had not those problems,
Right.
had been successful? Would you have found that inner art in yourself, or would it just be a different Jason Mraz?
I'd probably be a different Jason Mraz because I was so alone and trying to figure things out. I would turn to music. I would turn to albums I was listening to.
Right.
Or I would sit in front of the piano and kind of brood over chords and sounds and figure things out. And I carved my own path and my own journey through music. Whereas if my parents were stayed together and we did more activities together,
Right.
I may have gone more into theater or something where
something else could have drawn you.
yeah,
Right.
where I had more of an audience. But I
That's
don't feel like I
fascinating.
had the audience as a little kid. So I
Yeah.
was creating these musics probably to try to get an audience of my parents.
Wow.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
It really is fascinating how life kind of unfolds in the way that, if you believe in a higher power, wants it to unfold.
That's right.
And sometimes I think we beat ourselves up about our past and everything, but you're on a path in some respects for a reason, and it's just how you frame it sometimes. I'm getting big into reframing stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's also important to choose the life that we've had so far.
Yeah.
Meaning, because we can't change the past.
Nope.
So can't change who my dad is.
Yep.
Can't change my parents.
Yeah.
My past. So it's important at some point to choose your past, and it's hard to do
Right.
that sometimes because some people's pasts are traumatic. But choose the father you were given, and recognize he did the best he could with the circumstances that he had.
Nobody's perfect. Yeah.
Nobody's perfect. And same in LA, you got to choose traffic. You just got to
Yeah.
choose it.
Sometimes, yeah.
Today I choose traffic. And then when you get traffic, you're like, I chose this,
I
baby.
chose it. I
I'm in
chose
the
it.
right place.
Yeah. I love how he takes us from a very heavy, heady interview to, I'm choosing traffic, baby. Let's bring it back,
right.
Val.
Yeah.
That was beautiful, though. Choosing your path.
You
Yeah.
have to. Yeah.
We just found out, obliviously, that today's your birthday.
It is my birthday.
Happy birthday!
Thank
Happy
you.
birthday.
Thank you. I'm 1,007. I don't know. I'm 46 today.
46. Congrats,
Yeah,
man. That's
thanks.
awesome. You
Feels
look great.
Yeah, I feel 27.
Avocados.
Avocados. It's all
Do
those
you rub
good
them all over your
fats.
body and stuff too? You do
I
that?
do.
Yeah.
Yeah, we get intimate.
It's like, I really can't wait to taste his avocados, compare them to avocados in the market, because I feel like he really gets into the avocados.
Doesn't Chipotle have your avocados?
Chipotle buys our Haas avocados, yes. So they
Oh.
come in the spring and they buy all of our avocados. And some years it's 60, 70,000 pounds of avocados. It's a lot. Truckloads.
Holy cow, dude.
It's
You got a big
incredible.
avocado
Gosh.
farm.
We do. And what I have in my car right now are the summer variety called Reeds. And they're big melon, they're big circular
Oh, they're
melon
huge.
type of avocados. Yeah.
And do you commonly drive around with avocados in the backseat of your car?
Yeah, because I know people are going to ask me
know,
about
it's
them.
annoying.
And they're
So
great
sorry.
to hand out.
Are
you
they?
know? Yeah, just like, hey, anybody want some avos?
Yeah,
they're
Just
expensive.
Toss them.
They can be expensive.
And
Yeah,
they're
they
very
really are, yeah.
expensive, yeah.
And then you're part of the avocado tourism board. You're bringing people to the fruit.
Yeah, exactly. California avocados. Look for the sticker.
Dude, happy birthday. That is so cool.
Thank
You're here for your
you.
birthday, and the album is out right now, Mystical, Magical, Rhythmical, Radical Ride.
Yeah, the new
What's
album.
the deal with that, by the way?
It's a ride through time. I feel
Yeah.
like where I'm at 46, I've lived enough to be able to look back and go, wow, I've been in the music industry for 20 years. I've
Yeah.
written a lot of songs. But I also have enough breath left in me that I feel optimistic about the future.
Sure.
And so this is a ride through time, looking back and forward. And it's just a reminder to be grateful and enjoy the ride. That's why it's called Mystical, Magical, Rhythmical, Radical Ride. It's an album about life, but I don't want to just say life. I want you to feel mystified by this whole miraculous experience that we're on and really do your best to stay awake and enjoy the ride.
When they do album artwork and stuff like that, do they charge you any more based on letter count and stuff?
Good question. That is funny.
You guys run that up the old flagpole in the printing
You know,
process?
It does take two lines, when
Yeah.
you're looking at the streaming apps. It doesn't all fit on one line.
Do you print this in vinyl? Will you put it on vinyl?
Oh yeah. Yeah, the
I just got a
vinyl's
record player for my kid. He loves it.
nice. It's
Yeah.
available in pink or blue or
Oh, that's so
black.
cool.
Yeah, you got color options. It is. We've done amazing in our vinyl pre-orders. People love
Yeah.
vinyl, and
It's coming back, isn't it?
It is. Yeah.
Now listen, if you want to get in on the ground floor and something, you got that avocado money on the side, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking about bringing back 8-tracks.
All right. All right. No fast forward, no rewind.
You got to hear it.
Just
Gotta hear it, man.
pop it in and
Yeah, you got to listen to the whole thing.
gotta
Speak it
listen to
over.
the whole thing. You
Yeah.
gotta shove it and clunk it, and it makes a lot of noise. Those things. But you can have a May. They are there.
Are they really?
Yes, you can.
Oh, dear God.
It is an option. St. Vincent did that with her album. She sold 500 copies of 8-tracks.
Really?
Yep.
Maybe cassettes. Should we do cassettes? Is that easier?
I like cassettes.
Cassettes. Sorry, we'll meet in the middle there. It's a smaller version.
There's a few cars in this parking lot below that probably have cassettes
Hold
still
on.
in
We
them.
do cassettes and we sell Jason Mraz pencils. So in case you have to wind the cassette a little bit or something, right?
Yes. I love this idea.
We're old. Stop looking at us like that.
I'm not far behind.
You remember that, the cassettes?
Oh, gosh,
the winding of a
yes.
cassette?
Oh, yeah.
You ever wind a cassette, John?
A cassette?
Jason
Oh, my
Mraz, thanks for
God.
coming in, buddy.
Hey, thank you.